I've got a napkin tucked into my shirt and a fork and a knife for this piece of filet mignon tonight, Booger. How in the world do you think can the Jets pull this one off with Sam Darnold at home quarantined?
Well, I think they're going to have to slow the tempo of the game down. I think Cleveland is a fast-paced offense. As we saw last week against Tennessee, they took the opening drive down the field, they scored, and all was well. And then, quote-unquote, all hell broke loose because they started committing penalties. Late in the fourth quarter, Baker was pressing. They turned the football over. I think if you're a Jets fan, and you got to have confidence that Trevor Siemian went back and watched the tape of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold didn't play well last week, Rich, and I think Siemian being a veteran quarterback, he started 24 games. I think the moment won't be too big for him. He's got Le'Veon Bell. Demaryius Thomas comes over via trade from the New England Patriots. Jamison Crowder played well last week, so he's got some weapons. I think the big thing for him is just to try to let the game come to him and try to slow the tempo of the game down. Run Le'Veon early, not necessarily milk the clock, but don't be in a hurry because you want this Browns offense to kind of feel like they're pressing a little bit. And how you do that is you keep them on the sideline.
Well, and then you obviously have C.J. Mosley out for the Jets as well with Quinnen Williams and this offense from the Browns coming at you. What went wrong for the Browns in all the film that you've watched against the Titans, Booger?
Well, I think the quarterback was pressing a little bit. You know, they can say what they want to say, but you can definitely tell that after the first drive, they thought, man, this is going to be easy this year. Here we come. AFC North, Super Bowl, first drive of the season. And they want to score every play seemingly. And to me, that's an issue because the National Football League is built on a lot of good players. And I think Baker Mayfield and also Freddie Kitchens, they were pressing a little bit. Instead of calling the slant route or the run play, they were trying to get the 15, 20-yard chunk pass every time. And Tennessee just kind of dropped back and played cover two and kept everything in front of them and didn't allow too many big plays, and they became impatient. But the bottom line is that their offensive line also was terrible. I thought Chris Hubbard, the right tackle, who went to left tackle when Robinson got kicked out, he may have played the worst offensive line that I've ever seen, and they got to get that shored up. Freddie told us yesterday that he's looking forward to the game tonight because he wants to find out what his team is made of. He's got a young football team that's very, very talented. And when you have young players, you have an idea of how they're going to react and perform, but you just don't know, especially on Monday Night Football with all the bells and whistles that come with that. I think we're going to find out whether or not this young team can handle the expectations on a big stage in New York. It's going to be a fun night tonight.
Well, 18 penalties, Booger, also didn't help. And you mentioned Greg Robinson getting kicked out of a game. I mean, a left tackle getting kicked out of a game because he kicked Kenny Vaccaro in the head. And the loss of composure that we saw from time to time was alarming. And now here comes, as you mentioned, Monday Night Football, MetLife Stadium, and Odell has already been out there talking about Greg Williams and Greg Williams returning fire. How much do you think that's going to play into tonight's game?
Well, I think it'll be good for us. You know, when we come on TV, we'll have something juicy and scintillating to talk about.
No, but I'm just talking about what Greg might do to dial it up, or the players in Odell's face trying to trigger him, or Odell trying not to be triggered. I mean, that's the sort of stuff. I'm fully aware you guys are definitely going to be talking about this, rightfully so.
Right. I think, you know, obviously I think the players are going to bring it up. That's what players do on the field. Some talk, some don't, whatever your prerogative is. I don't know if Greg can dial it up the way that we're used to Greg Williams doing that because the cornerbacks for the Jets, Roberts and Tremaine Johnson, didn't play well either. And so if you're Greg, do you really want to leave your corners on the island one-on-one when they didn't play well against the Buffalo Bills, who I probably can't even name one of their receivers, and now you're going up against OBJ and Jarvis Landry and David Njoku and Nick Chubb? Like, the weapons that you're going to see tonight are going to be 2 times the weapons you saw against against Buffalo, and they didn't play well against Buffalo. So I think Greg is going to try to play to the running game and try to keep this game close. If you're a Jets fan and it's the end of the first quarter and it's 7-3 or it's 10-7 or it's 10-3, you got to feel pretty good. What you do not want is at the end of the first quarter, this game is 14-0, because that means that offense is high-flying, and now Myles Garrett, and Olivier Vernon, and Sheldon Richardson can get after Trevor Siemian, which is what you do not want.
Booger McFarland from Monday Night Football here on the Rich Eisen Show. How quickly are we going to see Odell's watch on your broadcast tonight, do you think, Booger?
You know, man, I think it's going to be at some point early on. Jay Rothman, our producer, does a great job. I kind of stay in my lane. Things that I need to know, I know. Things that I don't, I really don't worry about. So I'm sure he'll put it on the screen at some point, especially if Odell has a big catch early. I mean, that's part of the storylines. We got Lisa Salters, who does a great job, and I'm sure she'll have something on it. But, I mean, you know how this goes, Rich. I mean, it's a national broadcast. We're going to introduce people to the big topics of the last week involving these two teams, and that definitely has been one.
Why is that one, do you think? Do you think it's because of Odell, or just it's how expensive the watch is, or do we get bored as a national media talking about stuff between Monday and Wednesday? How big of a deal do you think this really is, Booger?
Well, I don't think it's a big deal at all. I think anytime Odell Beckham, who is box office, he is a star. Anytime he says something, does something that is in any way, shape, or form considered controversial, we're going to jump all over, because that's going to get people to pay attention. As long as it's legal by NFL rules, I could care less. If it's illegal, then okay, you got to take it off and let's move on. And I think people are enamored because of this, Rich. How many people would own a $200,000 watch, and then B, would you wear it during a game or during a battle or a competition? And so, I think there's a portion of America that just doesn't understand that mindset, because they've never been in it. They've never owned that kind of watch, nor if they were able to own it, would they put that watch in competition. So I think all those things factor in. But Odell is coming back to New York. Whatever he says or does this week was going to be a big story, so the watch just fits right in.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.